So let's start out with the robots.txt file, all right, as opposed to the meta robots tag. We're going to get that after. But let's talk with the robots.txt file, which is where you control what the crawlers do on a site-wide level, basically, all right? And really, it is a text file. It's just a simple text file you can create with any kind of standard editing tool. It helps direct the robots that visit your website to do what you want them to do, right? To go here or not go there. And it's also like one of the first files that each crawler asks for when it comes visiting your site. It's named robots.txt. Every time they come in, the crawler will look to see, okay, what do you have a robots.txt file? If so, what are the rules you want me to follow here? As far as what you don't want to show, what you do want to show, what they can and can't do. And this does provide instructions to either all crawlers or even specific crawlers that specifies which pages should be crawled and which pages should be excluded from being crawled. And by properly configuring these things, it ensures that there's efficient use of your crawl budget. And we're going to talk about crawl budget next month, a little bit more detail, which is just the amount of times Google will come to your site and how many pages they'll crawl, basically. But we'll get into the details of that. So by doing it properly, it ensures there's an efficient use of your crawl budget and prevents the engines from indexing sensitive or irrelevant content, just content you don't want them bothering with, right? And even if you don't need or want to block the robots from any kind of files or directories, it's still a really good idea to have a basic robots.txt file in use. I will show you what a basic one looks like in a few moments, all right? So the robots.txt file just sits in the root directory where your index.html, index.php, and your index page resides. It sits in the same place. If you're familiar with htaccess files, same place as that. And you can literally view anybody's robots.txt file just by navigating to their site name / robots.txt. All has to have the same name. If you go to a website and it doesn't have robots.txt, you'll get an error message. They just don't have one. That's all. But here's a few examples. If I go to Microsoft.robots.txt, pull this open here. So there's the Microsoft one. Okay, it has things like, we'll get into these user agents, disallow, allow, and that's really everything there. And you also have listing of sitemaps. All right. So all of these pages here are either allowed to be searched or crawled by robots or not allowed to be crawled by robots. I've got a small one on my own site here. This is mine. I'm just disallowing some of these old testimonial pages, some of these class calendar pages that were outdated, a couple of other junk file areas in here. We have a tool that's on our site that's adding, this is a recent one, this KUID. It's adding like a parameter into all of my URLs. And I don't want Google indexing them. I don't want them crawling them. So I told, hey, ignore them. Anything that has KUID, just ignore. So we'll talk about how this sets up in a minute. But you can look at anybody's. You go to anybody's website, put in there blah, blah, blah.com or whatever, and then /robots.txt. If they have a file, you could see it. If not, they're just not using it.